All right, I'm going to show you the city water or the running water connection. So right back here on the back end of the RV, you'll see this label, city water connection. So you pop this top off, and this is where everything will be connected in. Here's the setup that I've got for you. It all is going to come in a black bin, and I'll walk through all this with you when you get here. But this is going to be your first piece, and it's labeled city water all over this thing. This is going to go directly into this port. You'll get it lined up, and you'll just start twisting it on until it gets all the way fully snug. Go all the way there, and then you're going to point it at this angle, kind of like a 45-degree angle, because you got this big old filter you're going to have to hook onto it. The other side that you're going to hook on, and this is going to come directly to your source. So this is my primary water valve, so it regulates the pressure on it. I've got it set up to where it needs to be set up for the RV. So essentially, this is going to go directly to your source. So this end's going to go directly to the campsite source. And then this hose will lead into the other side, which will connect into everything here. But essentially, when you get this source, you'll want to run the hose somewhat through here so that it has some support on the hose side with this. So I'm just going to do it for here for right now. So quick connect into there, locks in. Now that the hose is through there, your next thing is to hook up to your filter. So this will give you an arrow as far as flow. So your hose, your blue hose for fresh water, is going to go to the bottom of this. So flow's going up. Filters here. We keep track of how many gallons go through these filters so we know when to switch them out. And that's what this thing helps us with, to know, okay, how many gallons have gone through this thing each time it's used. And then this right here is another secondary pressure regulator. Just for any reason this one fails, got a secondary one here. So then this quick connect will go right into here. So quick connect in, locked on, and now you can turn on and pressurize the system. All right, so this RV is on a 30 amp system. So what we got here is a surge protector that checks the 30 amp systems. So when you get to a park and you get to your campsite, this is one of the first things you want to do before you actually start setting up anything, unhooking the trailer. So first thing you want to do is just this by itself. Don't have anything else plugged into it. Take this and plug it in. What you want to see is this green and blue light. This green and blue light don't come on. If it doesn't come on, you'll want to find another spot because the box is not going to work and it's probably going to fry the system, or electricity is not even going to work. But once you get this blue and green light, you can then plug in your other wires to the system. If for any reason that there's a 50 amp instead of a 30 amp, I've got a green adapter and I'll show you how to hook that up right now. All right, so you get to the campsite and it's a 50 amp instead of a 30 amp. What you'll want to do is look under this undercarriage door here, and we've got this green adapter that goes from 50 to 30. So if I pull this little cap off here, this is a 50 amp hook in. So this would go directly into the plug at the campsite, and then your surge protector would connect into here. So now you've got the access from a 50 down to a 30 amp, and then you can use all the same cords to hook up to the system. So same thing as before, it's a 50 amp. Plug this in with this first to make sure you've got the blue-green light before you plug anything else in. All right, so let's say you're not at a site that has a 30 amp or 50 amp hookup, but you're somewhere that has just like your typical wall outlet from a house. So that's what I've got here in this extension cord. So if you're going to do the same type of process with that, we've got this other adapter that goes to a 30 amp. So it takes this adapter, plugs directly into, you'll probably have to do an extension cord because this is kind of wide unless it's got a big wide opening to plug into. This thing's hard to plug into. So extension cord into this, and then you do the same thing where you plug this surge protector into there, make sure you get the blue-green light, and then once you got the blue-green light, that means you're good to go. And you can plug the other cord into it, which is the 30 amp extension, plugs directly into there. And now we'll hop over to the RV and I'll show you how to plug it. All right, now you've got everything hooked up. You've got your green light and your blue light on the surge protector. You're ready to go. Here's the next step on it. This goes directly into the RV. So right over here next to all these hookups, next to the little outdoor shower, you've got this lid right here that'll lift up. From there, you can take this orange side and it kind of goes in at a little bit of a slight angle. I'll say like 5 to 10 degree angle, and then it'll push in all the way, and then you turn it to where it's up and down. Then you also have this locking nut. So once you get the thread lined up, you just kind of twist this down and then just gotta get it a little hand tight, not super tight, but just enough to where your hand just barely gets it tightened up. And that'll keep it on there. And then you'll have power going into the RV. All right, now we're gonna talk about the propane and how to access it and the valves and get everything turned on. So your quick access is right here on this top door. There's two little nuts on top of here that loosen up and push back. So loosen, and then right over these knobs, it just pushes back over that. And then that allows this latch to open up. And in here, you've got your valves to open everything up. So turn it to where it opens. And on our setup, I'll always have the right side as the primary. So if you open the primary one, it'll lead in. So I'm going to pop this off and I'm going to show you how to swap it if this one runs out and you need to get to this one. You just kind of have to wiggle it up and give it a little bit of muscle to get it off, especially when it gets to right to this point. Just pop it. There we go. So then up here on the front, you'll have this little switch right up on the front here. And it's got an arrow pointing to the tank. So right now, I've got it pointed to this right tank. But let's say that this tank went out, and I wanted to use this one. I'd open up the valve for the left tank, and then swap this arrow over to the left side. Now it'd be feeding directly from this left tank. The other thing I want to show you, on each one of these, we have this gas stop valve system on it. So what this does is it helps with, if anything looks weird, or anything's going weird as far as how much gas is coming through there, it helps prevent any kind of leaks from coming inside. So that's what this is going to do. So if it thinks that there's a leak going on inside, it's going to shut this off. If for any reason that this needs to be reset, all you have to do is come in here and push this down and it resets the system. The other good thing about this is it kind of tells you when you're getting low on gas. So it's a nice little secondary helper for that. All right.